Okay, when you're ready, Harrison, you can.
Yep. Hi, my name is Harrison Neal and I'm here to present an idea that I've had for a new TV show for BBC Three. The name of the show is Pareidolia and it's a story about grieving and how people process the loss of specifically people quite close to them, so in this case family. The name is derived off a phenomenon which is described on Google as the tendency to perceive a specific, often meaningful image in a random, ambiguous visual pattern. And some people think that the Rorschach ink block test could be an example of this. It's a drama show, specifically domestic drama, and there's around 5 episodes of 35 to 40 minute length, so kind of typical drama show. And each episode represents a different stage of the grieving process, which would be denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and then acceptance. Its themes of grieving and tragedy obviously permeate throughout with each character and each character's story throughout the show. And the whole main journey is just that getting over, and how it's not an easy process. There's always steps back, but there's always steps forwards. The main character is called Ava. She's roughly teenage years, so 16 to 18, and has just lost her mother, who was named Alice. She dies in a sudden car accident and was loved by most of the small town that the story is set in, due to her caring and accepting nature, as well as James, who is Ava's father, who is strong, but because of everything that's happened, is just keeping it together for Ava's sake, and you see that as he's not really a strong guiding figure, though he has his moments. And lastly is Mia, who is Ava's best friend, and by the end of the show, a possible romantic interest. She's very similar to Aris, but because she comes from a broken home, is often overlooked by a lot of people, she tends to keep quiet. The main premise of this film is based off its name, and it's that because she's so consumed by grief, Ava is seeing her mother everywhere, in reflections, in objects, to the point where it's just all consuming. And as we, as the viewers, can see that, we are very in her perspective. But as she goes forward through each episode, it starts appearing less and less, until in the final one, the only time you see Alice is either in a flashback or a picture. No reflections, no objects. She's not been forgotten, but she's not all-consuming anymore. And my main idea is to cast new talent, new talent over existing talent, get more people's names into the spotlight, instead of existing actors who may already have had their chance. Any questions?
Who is your target audience?
Target audience is people of similar ages, or I think it's the 16 to 21, and people who may be going through something similar, as to help them process their own grief or trauma and allow them to heal as well as the main character.
Okay, so marketing wise, how are you expecting BBC Three to market it? Who are you hoping that the advert's going to appeal more to, male or female?
Say, obviously, ideally, everyone, but I'd say most likely will be female.
Okay.
Due to female lead.
So why BBC Three? Why have you come to me at BBC Three to propose this idea to us?
BBC is well known for quite a few good drama shows come to mind, such as Killing Eve, great show, and I feel like it's the best way to reach the target audience, as we have very similar.
So why BBC Three? You've given me BBC as an organisation, but why BBC Three itself?
BBC Three seems to have a kind of mostly younger, a younger audience that's still in the mainstream, but like something a little out there, but not too out there, as opposed to BBC One, which has a kind of much older audience.
Okay. And with regards to this, what other dramas is it going to be similar to?
In terms of other similar ones, not so much, but one that comes to mind would be WandaVision from Disney Plus. That was a story of grief and how that show's main character goes through the grieving process in her own way. It's a very similar style, well, not style, but kind of process story. Theme, thematic, yes.
How about style and general drama aimed at that audience? Yes, you kind of identified a sort of superhero drama that's aimed at that audience, but how about the style of the drama itself? You said it's domestic drama, so what other domestic dramas are you kind of hoping this is going to be similar to? It's going to draw those people interested in those sort of programs through.
Like I said earlier, Killing Eve would be a good example for more tone and style.
Okay. How about ones that are on BBC Three at the moment? Or have been on BBC Three?
Haven't had time to do that yet. Haven't had time to research.
So what makes yours special? What makes it different from the likes of Killing Eve?
While the main story is very, I wouldn't say overdone, but very common in drama, the premise and the whole premise of, based on the name, of seeing these images throughout the show sets it apart stylistically and visually compared to stuff like Killing Eve and other drama shows.
Okay. So, Harrison, I really like the idea. Can I just double check with you? How did you spell its title?
I'll just get it up for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's not a common, not something people typically think, oh yes, that's what that is.
Okay, V-A-R-E-I. Brilliant, thank you very much. So, Harrison, I really like the idea. I like the theme. I like the fact that you thought about it being 5 episodes. And I like the idea of it, each episode being a different stage of the grieving process. I think that's really nice. I like the fact your main character is also 16 to 18. You've included the LGBTQ+ ideas as well, which at the moment is very popular with BBC Three dramas, and making sure that we've got a full spectrum of representation. And I'm impressed that you've given real careful consideration of meaning. I think there is still questions with regards to the style that you were hoping to go for, and I would have liked to have seen some form of proof of concept to kind of demonstrate the kind of style that you were looking for. So I think you do need a little bit more research on it. But once you've done that, once you've given me a bit more, then I'd be quite happy to come back and consider it again. So thank you very much.